everybody. Welcome to Mindful Message number 2. We just went through some things that might be good to be keepsakes. We're going to kind of touch base on a similar thing for this one, but not really. This is things that might be worth money someday that you should hold on to, not necessarily what you're collecting. But anyways, the state coins, since they came out, I think they've printed different versions of each state. So it's not just collecting the states now, it's collecting the artwork of each state. And I feel like if you really collect a lot, one day they're going to be worth money. It really depends on the mint and the design and, what happened that year. I know that it gets sentimental on historical. Like if you get, a coin that was printed in Pearl Harbor times and you found it, just because it was the year of Pearl Harbor, it increases the value. So there is some years and coins that are very specific and up the price, and you never know when that could happen to you. So holding on to specific years of value to you, or getting as many years as you can, would be valuable. Same with 50-cent or $1 coins, because who knows if they're going to stop doing that, like the $2 bill. If you still have $2 bills, I think they still print them. I don't know if this is something you have to ask for, but all these things eventually went out of practice or use and now are worth more than $2 bills or more than $1, depending on how old your silver dollar is. So any kind of coins, they have all different in memoriam coins, special event coins that aren't really worth money. They're just collective stuff. Those will also be worth money someday. Stamps or seasonal limited edition stamps. Stamps are always going to exist. Snail mail is always going to exist. It's not as popular anymore because of email and stuff like that. So they aren't making as many impressive stamps as they used to. They used to make really cool stamps. If you can find stamps from your grandparents or whatever, whether it's on the envelope or not. Hi. I would hold on to those because they're going to be worth money someday. Gold or diamond or ruby jewelry. Gold is always going to be worth something. Diamonds are always going to have a little bit of value. Rubies, as far as emerald, sapphires, rubies, amber, any kind of colored stone like that. If it's real and authentic, it's going to be worth something someday. I would never just throw it in a lake or do any of that shit when you can make a profit off it. Glass designed brand bottles. So every once in a blue moon, a company will come out with a limited edition bottle. It doesn't have to be glass, but a lot of them like to use glass. Back in the day, they used to make exclusive Snapple. There was fire, air, water, one for each element. They did specific bottles to their brands. Those are always going to be worth money. Special cereal boxes with athletes on it. Those are always going to be worth money. My dad has a Buffalo Bills cereal box that he never opened, and I think it has Jim Kelly on the top of it. So that's definitely going to be worth money. Jim Kelly was one of the best players in the Buffalo Bills history. But anything like that. We even had Wheaties with Wayne Gretzky box on it. That's definitely worth money. Hang on to that shit. Limited edition sports memorabilia, of course. And anything a celebrity does, limited edition. I remember when Missy Elliott and Madonna teamed up and made a pair of jeans back in the 90s. Those jeans are worth money because they only made a certain amount, and it was two stars that came together and collaborated and made a really cool bell-bottom jean. Anything like that is definitely going to be worth money. Collecting designer clothing as well, if you can afford it. If you buy a Chanel bag or you buy a Gucci dress, they're always going to have value, and no matter I think it just gets more expensive the older it gets. Like if you get a vintage fucking Gucci gown, you can sell that for big money because it all comes back around. And to have something authentic to a time period is always where the money is at. Children's toys or action figures, it's best if you don't open them, but if they are in good condition and they were of limited amount, they can still be worth money someday. It's best to keep them in the box and the tags. CDs, records, record players, even like old school original record players, any kind of movie like VHS, you know, they're worth money now. Not many people have VHS players, but when you get, like, remember The Little Mermaid, when they made them redo the cover because it had something perverted on it? Anybody who kept that cover, that original cover that was a big controversy, that cover is going to be worth money, even though it's a VHS tape. It signifies a big controversy in pop culture. It's one of the originals. So that kind of stuff is always worth money. Newspapers, magazines, they're all going to be digital one day. So having a hard copy of something is definitely going to be worth money, but I would limit what you save. It's got to be something big, like the president died, or, you know, the royal wedding, or a big moment in history, or a tragedy. Those newspapers, those magazines, those limited edition stories, like they did 9/11 magazines. A lot of people have those. Those are going to be worth money someday. You know, just talking about what happened. They were printed during the time, like People magazine, anything like that. That's always going to be worth money someday. Sneakers, heels, or handbags. These are the most money makers, because like I said, the older they are, the more they go up in profit. It's that vintage value. Anything that you can add vintage to, that has a name that people spend money on or know very well, is going to be worth money. Like original furniture as well. Like if you have 18th, 19th century furniture, you have an old lady's hand brush and a hand mirror from the Titanic, all that kind of shit is going to be worth money. First edition teddy bears from like 1930 that are in mint condition, hand sewn, that's going to be worth money. They don't make stuff like they used to. Wine or wine bottles in general, or liquor, you know, I don't really feel, I feel like wine just gets worth more the older it gets, and certain wine bottles, whether it has wine or not in it, is worth money because it's like a limited edition thing. Any kind of electronics, like if you have an old Walkman, if you have an old cassette player Walkman, that's going to be worth money in probably 20 years, because most museums are going to be looking for that kind of stuff, and you can sell it to them. Anything that's popular on like TikTok 50 years from now is going to be worth something if it makes a giant splash. But the more people buy it and the more commercialized it gets, the lesser in value it is. So make sure it's attached to some kind of pop culture event. But yeah, my last one was pop culture, anything. Like if you go in, you bump into a celebrity that you really like and you get that autograph, which most of them don't do autographs anymore. Now it's like a photo with that person. That photo might be worth money, but I doubt it. In the digital age, you're wanting more of an autograph, especially if they sign something. Like if you go to a concert, you want that t-shirt of that concert on that night and have them sign it. That's more money, more value. There's ways that you can really find value in anything to collect, but I just stick to the main thing. Who made it? Why was it made? And will people care about it 50 years from now? And if you say yes to all three of those, I would save it. But if you're becoming a hoarder and your house is crowded, I would stop collecting. Really only keep what you're going to want to have to carry if you move your house. Keep that in mind. Collecting more junk is just worse in the end. Don't do that to yourself, especially if you know you're going to move again. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!